Morning guys, I want to cover the US 500 briefly. If you saw my video about the Dow Jones, the US 30, we had a sort of a topping out activity that we had because the retail guys got squished, and we had a squeeze and release effect on the US 30, and you would have seen it on a lot of indices. That monster rally just basically liquidated the bears. And so that's why we could potentially be seeing a little bit of like a near-term top because it's a liquidation event. All right, so just refer back to that video that I made on Thursday. So do keep an eye on your US 500, the Dow Jones, the DAX, if you're trading any dollar or yen pair. So we have some supply, but your monthly pivot's down there, and we are below the 55, and we could potentially target the 233. And I suggest we probably come down here at 4670. There are your weekly ranges, daily ranges. We had exceeded the monthly range high as well. So that's that beige box there, the orange box. So that's that. Potentially we could be seeing a bit of topping out, which would lead towards the dollar strength that we're seeing on the bubbles. However, we want that to come off, right? That shouldn't be there. If we're going to go risk off, that yen bubble shouldn't be there. That's telling us that we're going to be risk on, right? So we're seeing a bit of a discrepancy between the safe havens. So I'm not sure what to say with the yen. Just be careful. I think we might come down and it'll just go and continue higher the next leg up. Yeah, so keep an eye on that USD, especially if we are topping out here, okay? Dixie, what I think might going to happen here, well, first of all, we've got A, B, C, D, so that's we're going to be a buy as long as that doesn't break 95.48. I think we might potentially come down to support, see the XAB, XB, we coincide with this harmonic support, so we could potentially come down and then we'll come up and we'll test the pitchfork, which would be interesting, the resistance there, and then we'll come up and possibly test this, and inevitably we'll probably break this area. This is the B, this is the B body, and then it'll complete the harmonic. Alright, so we'll come up and we'll need to, it's a very strange harmonic, I've got to admit. This is probably a little bit too long, but that was probably, the selling was a bit too elongated, protracted, so the harmonic will be a bit strange looking, and it will look like this. If that is the support, it will do something like this, where it needs to break above the B. So we can have a very strange harmonic, and this is going to be your sell. Alright, around about there, because we need to break this. So we'll have to wait and see for that. Let's look at, go through these, maybe do these, yeah, we'll do these. These are quite clean. So we've got like resistance here in between the chop zone, as you can see. We'd ideally want that to break. You'd want 72.39 to break, and then you target the 72.12, and these are ADR for hourly metrics. SLC 72.85 and 71.90. I'm going to add the pitchfork, not the pitchforks, the pivots. God, sorry, Wyatt's monthly, because we obviously only a month. Yeah, true. Okay, all right. So there's monthly pivots. So we would be a buy because we're above monthly pivot. So perhaps look to maybe have a buy order down here. Once we've taken that liquidity, we'll have this support. So keep an eye on those levels: 71.96. 72.12, and this level is probably very important. There is 72.39. You can see how it's that candle wick just probed it there. GU, strong channel. There isn't much resistance. Yeah, we're not making any resistance, so we can keep going. Potentially this is going to be resistance, but we'll have to wait for time to unfold, and then we're going to get like a box resistance box there. 1355, 13460. Note that the USD is strong, which would coincide with the bubble. Okay, and we look at the pound. Sorry, there. So we are stronger. However, we'd probably want to target something over here that's weak. So the Euro USD could be a better one, or the Kiwi USD could be better. The pound's quite strong because it's down there. Right, you want to pitch strong versus weak. So let's go back. We'll do the SLCs. Remember, we're above monthly pivot. Euro USD. It's not quite as strong as the pound. Very choppy. And I had a sell order here, which was quite good. But I did take profit too early because obviously, you know, you have to sleep. And I was in nice profits. I could have probably let it run, but it's one of those things. Remember, when we exceed the band, then you know we sell off, and you can get these indicators from the spreadsheet on the starter pack. So every time an X forms, it tells us that we'd sort of overextended a little bit. SLC 113.95, 112.70. We're a sell here, and we're between the ADR values. We could potentially just chop around. The level of interest there is 113.36, and then support at 113.09. So potentially we're going to come up, potentially, because remember the Dixie we could retrace to the support. Looks like it's going to do that, and then it's going to be a buy, and then we're going to break pitchfork, and then that high, we'll break that high, and then we'll sell here. And it could be like a heavy selling. So it's a bit frustrating that things don't move in straight lines, but that's, you know, that's FX, and this is certainly not moving in straight lines. It's very very choppy. And I'll just do a couple more, and I'll do AU, no, Kiwi maybe. So yeah, we're going to see a little bit of temporarily dollar weakness, I think. 68.75 and 68.09. Monthly pivots here. So a lot of the cross dollar pairs were above monthly pivot. And I'll probably wrap up now with two more charts, and I'll do the dollar yen because we know this is strong on the bubbles. This is going to be a buy on the bubbles. 115.59, 114.95, MR1 there. So 115.99. We could potentially do it. You know, this is like that's the strongest buy, so you know we could carry on. If this carries on, it'll probably spill over to other yen pairs. All right, so bear that in mind. And look at gold lastly, and then I'll wrap up the video. Where are we? All right, so SLC. All right, it's quite far. 1900, 0.96, and 1814. And the monthly pivot's there. So the dollar is technically, we could be quite weak on the dollar. Sentimentally, we're going to be strong, right? So you want the two to agree. And you note that all the cross dollar were above monthly pivot. So technically, we could be having a little sell-off to support. And you don't want 95.47 to break. If we do, then you know we'll come down to this shift channel at 95.18. And if we come down there, then you know the Euro USD and the Pound USD, they're going to rock it. So I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to wrap up the video now. My cat's playing again. It's got lots of energy. And yeah, if you need me to do any charts, just let me know. And don't forget what I said about the US 500 and the US 30 as well, because we could be topping off a little bit on risk. US 30. Yeah, so there's that liquidation event. They just got absolutely destroyed, and I think it was that candle there. So that's that. So I'll wrap up now. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you later.